Sarvanan of the DMK joining us on the phone line for that. Mr. Sarvanan, here is your Education Minister Ponmudy, who says speaking Hindi-speaking people sell panipuri. What did he intend to mean? Is this not an insult? How can your Education Minister speak like that?
What is an insult? What is the very
What does he mean?
He means that people from North India are migrating towards South India because we don't know how to make pani puri. It is only people from North India, people from the Hindi belt, they come here, they speak Hindi, and that is how we know Hindi. Otherwise, there is no chance for Hindi here. He meant it in that way.
Why did he not explain it in that way then?
See, in a public space, it's like it just comes out. I'm here to explain. I'm here explaining what he meant. And there was also a message to the governor here. The governor, who is just a figurehead, a rubber stamp in the state of Tamil Nadu, any state, he had the temerity and audacity to talk about three-language formula and had the audacity to talk about national education policy, which the state of Tamil Nadu has outrightly rejected. Probably the education minister wanted to teach what is the mindset of the people of Tamil Nadu and what the government of the Tamil Nadu wants.
If that's the case,
to make a mountain out of a molehill.
No, if that's the case, then for him to say something like those who speak Hindi sell pani puri, that really does not, comprise of all those elements that you mentioned here as a clarification.
That is what we'll have to extrapolate that with hard data. I'm telling you, nobody from Tamil Nadu knows anything about pani puri. We know only dosa and idli.
What are you saying, Mr. Sarvanan? Pani puri is sold all over the country, including Tamil Nadu,
including
Karnataka, including Kerala. All the southern states have their own versions of pani puri. I don't think you're well aware of the kind of charts that are being sold in your own state.
I'm coming to it. That is what I'm saying. See, if you say somebody is selling pani puri, it means they are not native speakers of Tamil. They don't know none of the Tamil sell pani puri here. We sell vadas. If there are some Tamils selling vadas or idlis or something else, that is for Tamil speaking people. In the state of Tamil Nadu, only Hindi speaking people sell pani puri. They are very common. So the people learn to understand small acha.
No, but we still don't understand the reference. We still don't understand the reference. What does he mean by people who speak Hindi sell pani puri? We don't need to learn Hindi. We have English. Why do we need to learn Hindi? He's saying all of these comments, and then you're trying to justify it by saying that all he meant was there are people migrating. None of that reference was made in his speech.
See, that is what, in a public speech, he just made it. That is why I'm saying I'm here to explain. And again, I'm telling you, we don't require Hindi at all. People in Tamil Nadu, we don't require Hindi. Hindi is a burden to learn. If I am going to migrate to Delhi, if I want to improve my economic prospects, I may learn Hindi. But nobody can impose Hindi on us.
No, undoubtedly, nobody can impose any language on anyone, and of course that debate is on. And on that note, you could have people standing by you. You have the entire South India who have always resisted Hindi imposition.
We want the entire North India also to stand.
But what you've lost out here is on the statement that your Education Minister has made, which is so derogatory and defamatory. He's insulting a language, whether you like it or not. Hindi is widely spoken, and it somehow is looked at as one of those unifying languages. May not be the only unifying language, but one of the unifying languages.
Not in the south of India.
One of the unifying languages. For sure, Hindi is one of those significant unifying languages. Is it necessary to insult?
No, it is not an insult. Why do you think that selling pani puri is an insult?
You should tell us what was the reason to quote those who speak Hindi sell pani puri. There was no caveat to his statement. There was no reference to his statement. He just blurted it out saying those who sell pani puri speak Hindi.
That's what I'm saying. We have the Home Minister and Prime Minister extolling the virtues of selling pagoda. So what is wrong in speaking about pani puri? I told you in Tamil Nadu, people who sell pani puris are the people who speak Hindi. That is the fact. Ask anybody, ask your reporter, ask Pramod. Let us do a random check on the streets of Chennai.
Nobody is denying that possibly there are a lot of people who sell panipuri speak Hindi also, but then you have people, other vendors.
Hindi also, they speak only Hindi.
You have your own Tamils also who sell panipuri. Maybe how do you know?
No, they don't know. They don't know how to make panipuri.
No, you are making sweeping statements, and it really is not a justification enough. Clearly, as an education minister, he should be motivating students. If it's an optional language, study all languages. What's wrong in it? But insulting it this way, what kind of precedence is he setting for your educational system?
Yeah. No. See, I'm telling you, this is not an insult. Definitely, if there is an optional language that we need to study, that we will encourage to study, that will be a computer language. Definitely not Hindi, because it is not going to improve my economic prospects at all. What is the point in trying to teach a kid who's trying to find employment study Hindi? Instead of that time, the time and energy he is wasting on studying Hindi, if he learns the computer language, he'll become skilled, he'll become employable, he'll go abroad. What will he do with Hindi?
Instead of completely shunning out Hindi, your approach should be ideally to be accepting all languages. But there seems to be a lot more hate towards the language, which seems to be coming from people like you and your education minister.
Give me 10 seconds. I'll come to that. There is no hate at all towards Hindi, because there are Hindi prachar sabhas here, Hindi movies running across. We like Salman Khan, all the Amir Khan, all the Khans, all the Kapoors. We like them, we enjoy their movies. So whatever little Hindi we know is because of this soft power of Hindi, not because of the imposition. Having every scheme of the central government named in Hindi. You want to celebrate every day in Hindi. You want to spend $800,000 for promoting Hindi in the UN. What did the other languages do? So Hindi is not hated.
Okay, so you're saying that you love Bollywood, you love watching Hindi films.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love Panipuri also. We love Panipuri also.
Mr. Sarvanan, it's ironic that for the amount that you consume Hindi, there's this stiff resistance to Hindi as a language that you don't even want to endorse it within your education system as one of the optional languages. You're saying, what is the use? We don't need Hindi at all.
We don't need Hindi at all.
That's
what I'm saying.
That's almost tacitly banning the language itself in the state.
No, it's not banning.
Whether you're officially doing it or not, you're almost creating a narrative against Hindi. So any student in your state even wants to take up Hindi will be looked down upon thanks to statements made by your education minister. Stay with us. We have your education minister's comment. I'll play it out for you one more time, then you could justify it all you want.
கிடைக்குதா ஹிந்தி நம்ம ஊரில் கோயம்புத்தூர்ல போய் பாருங்க பான்பூரி வச்சுக்கிறோம் எந்த கடை யாரு எல்லாம் அவன்தான் ஆக அது ஒரு காலம் இப்ப ஆங்கிலம் இன்டர்நேஷனல் லாங்குவேஜ் இந்தியா தமிழ்நாடு we should have our own system because India is a nation as the governor already knows unitary in diversity various cultures are there various languages are there in Tamil Nadu itself we should follow our own educational system. We also borrow the new certain good policies from the new education policy and we are ready to follow it.